Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Building a Nation with Polonia Warszawa. Now you might notice, well you probably wouldn't have, but now I've drawn your attention to it, you probably will, that the date we're on is a little bit later than expected. So I'll explain why in a minute, and you'll probably understand my reasoning behind it. But first, many things to discuss. Where can I buy your enthusiasm? Well, you see there's this little white powder. No, I don't know. I'm just very enthusiastic about these things. Obviously, I'm not like this all the time. I have to be a little bit more enthusiastic when we're doing the videos, because it'd be a bit weird if I was just sitting here doing monotone the entire time now, wouldn't it? And I don't think I'd be able to do that anyway. You should get a kit and wear it for transfer specials and cup finals. Now, you see, what, like a full kit wanker? I have asked the club about whether they can actually, where I can buy merchandise and stuff and they'll actually ship it to me, but they actually haven't responded to me about that, which kind of sucks, because I wanted to buy myself a shirt and a scarf and stuff like that, and was just wanted to check if they would actually ship to the UK. So I do want to try and sort that out, absolutely. So if anyone knows anything about that, yeah, get in touch. With Zubek translating as Spout, I can't see this continuing without his nickname, The Teapot. Yep, I'm pretty much sold on The Teapot so far, and he shall now be The Teapot. I christen ye. The second goal against Huragan was incredible since you're in Poland's fourth tier. Yeah, that to me is the best goal I've ever had a team score on, certainly on FM19. I actually went back and I looked at like the linked events, and you can see all the passes. It was 17 passes in the build up to that goal, and everything was just so good. And we've kind of been doing some similar stuff to that. We just don't seem to be scoring from set pieces or all, not even throw-ins anymore. It's all open play stuff. I'm just bloody loving it. Marcel Ziller from Bayern. Yes, yeah, that was the guy that I was after. He was not interested in me, unfortunately. It was less Mozilla, more no-Zilla. And apparently Regen means September. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one. Right then, since it is Sunday, and I'm not going to forget like I did a few times in Stockport, we're going to do Regen Sunday. Of course, if you want to participate in Regen Sunday, link in the description to the Discord, drop your regens in there. We've got a few less this week. I was trying to be a bit more picky, just because I figured that this episode is probably going to be quite a long one, and again, you'll see why in a minute. So first up, Giuseppe Lamanna, mainly because this guy is just absolutely unreal. 19 finishing, 17 dribbling, 18 first touch, 6 foot tall, he's got 20s in so many different things, 20 determination, likes to run the keeper, professional personality. This guy is unbelievable. Next up, bringing it down a touch, Kevin Ivanov, an Estonian, but his compensation of 250 grand. He's probably one of the best Estonian players I've seen. I know we're going after the Estonian thing quite a bit, but I think it's because we're all in the same person's save and they're actually sharing regens, and some dope stuff you're finding, so fair play. I cannot wait to be able to start doing my proper scouting, because at the moment it's just I'm having to do it all by myself. Next up, Donatas Fregimas. Ooh, Lithuanian striker. Probably that's not bad. 16 finishing on an 18-year-old Lithuanian striker. He's going to be getting a call up very, very soon, I'd like to say. I love that you're finding all of these obscure regens, particularly from those sort of countries. It's nice. Next up, Johan Ion, which is a fantastic name, I've got to say. And also, I mean, I couldn't really not have him in here because he's playing for Blyth Speetons. Next up, Ali Balawi, a Iranian goalkeeper. We don't feature so many goalkeepers, so I thought we'd throw him in, since it's pretty cool to see an Iranian goalkeeper. Hey, can't go wrong with that. And last but certainly not least, we can't even see any of his stats, but the person sent it to me because he's an Englishman that's naturalised as a Korean, and he's called Sean Thompson. And I love seeing weird little sort of quirks in the game like that. Dope. Awesome. Love it. Here we go. Some off-camera games. Also, you'll find a link in the description because I've put the tactic up on the Team Workshop. I've decided it's ready. You'll understand why in a minute. Let's go. So first up, we were away at Olympia, and we fell behind very early in this one. Ball whipped in from an indirect free kick, of course. Goalkeeper made an initial shot, but the rebound was put in the back of the net. Not exactly ideal. I can't then show you Jan Peltz's second goal for some reason, because when I actually try to show the goal, it shows a highlight of him having a shot saved instead, which wasn't the goal, and it was about a minute and a half before that. Don't know why. Really weird when the game does this on these highlights. It's a bit glitchy, I think. But then we did grab ourselves another one right before half-time. Jan Peltz, almost identical, actually. Ball put to the back post, and there was Peltzy. I think Schwamko got both assists today. No, he didn't. I actually can't remember now. But anyway, it doesn't matter. 2-1 to us, and another victory, which was really, really nice to see. And to see Peltzy get 2 goals, always nice. So then we found ourselves at home against struggling Radunia. And this game was a weird one in that I think it was the scoreline was very flattering to us, particularly as we fell behind from yet another indirect free kick. Ball was whipped in. The header was initially blocked, and it sort of rolled into the path of, I think Wisniewski actually had a header, and it headed it away sort of into the path of their player, and they slid it into the net for 1-0. We then got back into the game through Wisniewski. The ball fell to him, and he was able to volley it home on 34 minutes to give us the equaliser. He then added a second goal in the midway through the second half. The ball deflected to him, and he was able to finish low into the bottom corner. He's really stepped it up over the past couple of matches. It's been really nice to see. We then added another one through Christian Pichara, of course we did. And then a Tomasz Kolbon penalty in the 90th minute because Pichara had gone off, made it 4-1. A really nice victory, and just more points on the board. So then we had the top of the table battle that we were all awaiting, and honestly, they could not have turned up in any more fashion than they did. This was the most dominant performance. We literally went to our main rival's ground and pulled their pants down in front of their own fans. Yeah, we took the lead through a penalty early on, obviously, because we're very good at scoring those, but we dominated this match. I think at half-time we had nearly 70% possession, just controlling, creating chances, having shots. We were just all over them for the entire match, and then we added a second goal in the second half through Jan Peltz again, who's been really on form lately, firing into the team and really doing a great job. We then had a very tight game away at Alana Turum, but still we managed to come up with the win. A ball whipped in from a corner, I think by Jan Peltz, and there was Comrade Catholic at the back post to head it in for us. Strange to see him out in that position, but again, now that he's playing centre-back, I guess that makes a lot more sense. Man of the match performance from him. He was really good. We had other chances in this game. This was probably our most difficult chance to score of the bunch, but we got the win over the line yet again. Phenomenal. And also, more importantly, we dominated a team that played a 4-4-1-1, and that filled me with even more confidence. And I just think the cohesion. And then things just got better and better. We were at home against the third place team at this point. Also a team playing a 4-4-1-1, which we've traditionally struggled against, and we wiped the floor with them again. Comfortable, didn't concede a single shot on target in this game, scored 2 unbelievable goals. The ball was just rolled to Zavshikrai, took one touch and drilled it low and hard into the bottom corner. He is having one hell of a season so far this year. He really, really is. I'm so pleased that we've actually stuck with him as our first choice in that role. He's been amazing, attracting bids from, well, not bids, but interest from teams. And then things got even better. Pichara got the ball, he took a touch, ran into the space, played a lovely little ball into the half space, which Malik was able to run onto, go past and just drop it back round the corner for Pichara to put into an empty, well, not an empty net, but just a wonderful piece of passing play. Yet again, the lads are just linking up like mad. And it was at this point, I had to make a decision basically. We'd won 5 in a row, and the gap at the top was, let me check. I didn't actually write it down, but it was ridiculous. And I had to make the decision basically of, I had some spare time. Do I push on till the end of like the winter section? Because we were starting to get so far clear at the top that the games were starting to become a little bit meaningless, and I didn't want to be showing you loads of episodes of meaningless games because important stuff is more important. So I decided to push on and to push the live com back a few games basically because I just thought it was more important. And this would have been the live com game, JKS, and we just absolutely tore them apart again. Phenomenal performance. Loads and loads of chances created in this game. Everything just seems to have clicked into place, and I don't even know why. Like, this is why I'm prepared to put the tactic on the workshop as it is right now, because it just seems to work. We took the lead through Jan Peltz, obviously. Lovely work from Kvanteliani. Just kept on running, eventually picked a wonderful ball through, and Peltz was able to slot it home for 1-0, obviously. We then got a penalty which Pichara dispatched, because that's what he does. And then Zavshikrai, the ball was played to him by Jan Peltz. He took one touch and just absolutely thundered one into the back of the net for yet another goal. Peltz had a fantastic day as well on the night, I think. A goal and an assist for him on the night. Just wonderful performances across the board. And then it was just more of the same against a relatively struggling side, Krobry. And we did well. We created a few chances on the night. When we scored early on through Daniel Barbas, the ball was out on the right-hand side. A lovely little ball knocked inside to Malik, who then pulled it back essentially, and there was Barbas making a run in, first time finish, 1-0. And we took the lead early on, and I thought, well, we're going to kick on here, but we didn't actually managed to score any more goals, but it actually didn't matter in the end as they offered nothing at all. We looked so much stronger defensively, and we're just flying. But like all good things, they must finally come to an end. So we finally dropped points away at Rozhvoy Katowice. They took the lead early on, ball over the top, lovely finish, and there was nothing well, obviously we could defend better, but we just weren't very good on the night. We were still able to find an equaliser though in the second half. I think it was Regen actually put the ball through, and there was Wisniewski to smash another, well actually not even smash, just place another one in the bottom corner to at least maintain our little unbeaten run. Unfortunately in this game we've really struggled with injuries over this period, and that was the killer for us. We really struggled in the sense that we had no one to bring on for Jan Peltz because Klushka, more on his injury in a minute, so we had to play players completely out of position, and I think that really did cost us from a creative standpoint at the moment, and I think that's why we dropped points in this match. But you can understand now why I made this decision, I hope. Because the league is now looking like this. We are 16 points clear of second place. We're still unbeaten after 18 matches. And when I got to the point, I was like, we probably are going to win this league at a canter because things have just clicked so well this year. And I didn't want to be dwelling with lots of unnecessary episodes because I feel like the rise is important. But yeah, you don't want to see loads of meaningless games all the time. But that's how things are sitting at the moment. Pichara is the top scorer in the league with 13. He's dropped off a tiny little bit. Has still been scoring some penalties, though. Kasalik's been having a wonderful time this season. And Tobiasz, of course, has got 10 clean sheets because we barely conceded any goals. But yeah, more on Marcin Kluszka. So in training, I got a notification through that he has broken his upper leg. His femur, people. And unfortunately, due to our medical facilities, it said 12 to 15 months. I paid the 5 grand and sent him to a specialist, but he's still going to be out for at least a year, which is awful, really. Thank God Jan Peltz is informed, but as you can see, of course, in the last match, Jan Peltz went off injured, so I don't really know who's going to play in that role, because we had to, some players were recalled from loan. Both Ojog and, unfortunately, Mr. Eisenchart were both recalled by their clubs from their loan spells, so I'm not really sure who's going to play there today. It's also nice that we've got the kits for them. I do have the kits for the top 2 leagues, and obviously they dropped down, so it's nice to have some proper kits versus proper kits. When we get to the top flight, I'll get some nice new kits made for us. But we really do seem to have struggled with... why is he ineligible? Excuse me? It would appear that we had a B-team game today, and for some reason Bartosz Wisniewski has played in it, but I didn't tell him to. He's a first-team player. It would normally ask you, and I only ever set it to be like if they're not match fit, but he was match fit. Right, let me try and sort out this mess and see what team we can actually cobble together for today. So this is what we're going to go with. Bloomer is going to come in. Barbas will play there in place of Wisniewski. Pichara and Kvanteliani, of course. In the midfield, Zavchukrai and Kolbon. That's fine. At the back, Jaksic, Kasalik, Zembrovski and Maslanka. That's fine. But in goal, we're going to have to go with Tomasz Nipek, who is a young... I think he might even be a regen, actually. Let's just quickly have a quick gander at him. Oh, no, he's not. He's a real player. But he's a very highly rated young goalkeeper, but he counts for the under-21s, which is the main thing. And on the bench, I mean, Balavida, we've got Zubek in there, Zaborovsky, Michael Felix, Rakowski, Russian, and of course, there is Wojciech Filarczyk. Just going to have to see what they can do, really. I mean, if the lads come up with something today, I will be ecstatic for them. I really will. The key thing for me is that we've got the same defence and midfield. So it's the bench where I'm a bit concerned. Then again, we've got a huge winter break afterwards, so we should be all right. So first things first as well, I signed a load of our young pros that were on, not pros in fact, that were on like youth team contracts but had really high potential and whatnot, because a lot of them have been growing really nicely onto pro deals, so now that they're all on £100 a week on 3-year deals, which is good. Secondly, I also won Manager of the Month, twice in fact in this period, which is not a huge surprise. Bloomer got all the way through, goes for the strike, lovely stuff, and... I got an extension on my contract too, which gives us a bit more job security, which is always nice to have. We've actually started quite well here, amazingly. The fact is, Daniel Barbas is certainly no pushover player to bring in. He's a really high quality player, and he scored the winner against Kroby earlier on. So there's a lot of quality in this team still. Bloomer's the one sort of weak link in the actual starting 11. Kvanteliani, ball in though. Barbas! Oh, big chance. If that was Piaczek, I feel like that would have been a goal. Jaksic, ball across. Bloomer! And it's saved. It's a tough one, but it's still a chance for us. We should be taking these. Does really well for the under-18s and whatnot. Jaksic's ball again. Bloomer! Oh, and there we go. Daniel Barbas gives us the lead, and this is what I mean. Even with the crisis of injuries and ineligibilities that we're suffering from in today's match, we're still able to come up with a ridiculously good piece of play. This is actually really good from Adam Bloomer. I was expecting him to take the strike on here. The wonderful touch to bring that down and slip it across for his on-running midfield counterpart, and it's wow. I mean, look at that. 17 points clear we'd go at the moment. Kvanteliani, he's got men inside if he could find them. I'm sure he will. There he goes. Zavchukrai might have fancied it himself, and he does fancy it himself. It's 2-0. Sebastian Zavchukrai, another goal for him. I think that's like he's got 4 goals and I think 4 assists this year already. He is having a much better year than last year, and this is great from Kvanteliani. The patience just to hold that ball up, drive it in there to Zavchukrai, and he's just kept on going. Left foot, boom. Lovely stuff, 2-0, and these guys were relegated last year and do not look any signs of going back up. My God, he's doing the head one. Kolbon just goes past his player like he's not there. Pichara, we've got options for days. Bloomer, can he pull it across to someone? He does. Back post. Kvanteliani makes it 3-0 before half-time. We've really come into our own in the last few minutes of this match. We're 3-0 up. It's not even half-time. Kvanteliani now with the goal. Adam Bloomer, weak link in the team. I think that's 2 assists he's got on the night already. He's looking great here. This is a wonderful ball in. Nobody tracks the runner at the back post, and I think that's full on the volley. Kvanteliani makes it 3-0, and we are destroying team. Zavchukrai. However, Jaksic, men running across maybe. Can he go past him? He does. Bloomer. Zavchukrai. Oh, tipped over the bar. Now Jaksic's going to get himself sent off. Why? We're 3-0 up. You don't need to do that, Carol. Even when down to 10 men, we're still looking like scoring goals, although there is a huge gap at the back post, which surely they will exploit. Ebenezer does get one back for I mean, yeah, that's my fault for leaving that open. Maybe we should have plugged the gap a little bit, but I might just do that now, actually. There we go. I was going to say, where is our young defender? He's still miles out of position, and Ebenezer's through again. A great save from Nipek. I don't know where the youngster's gone. We've actually really ridden our luck towards the end of this match, but it does look like we're going to get away with it. They've actually, look at the 3 clear-cut chances. They could have maybe even got a draw out of this, but they didn't. And now we're 18 points clear of not going up. We could, in theory, be promoted with 6 games to spare at this point, which is outrageous, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, let's see if he's suspended for the next game. And he's not. Maybe it's that second yellow cards in this league just don't generate suspension. Maybe you don't get a suspension if you get a second yellow and not a straight red. That must be what it is. Interesting. Or it's a glitch in the rules of the database, but I don't know how they would, yeah. So I kind of feel like it would only be fair if we come back and do Grief on the 7th of March next year, which is actually my real life birthday. So there you go. So we'll do the huge Christmas period break, all of that, and then we'll come back and also do a couple of matches off camera with Olympia and Radomiak, although Radomiak are pretty good too, aren't they? But not as good as Grief. So I feel like we might as well play away at the strongest team in the next live com, because it feels like we're going to win this league, and I just want to kind of wrap it up as fast as possible at this point. But we will have a youth intake in the next video, and that is probably going to be the most exciting thing about it, in all honesty. I just want to get up out of this division now so we can have a crack at a slightly higher one. Anyway, if you have enjoyed that, and the fact that we're 19 games into a season and are still unbeaten, we must be coming up to 30 matches in a row unbeaten. In like all competitions, quite frankly, because of the run we had towards the end of last year as well. That is insane. Anyway, if you've enjoyed it, drop a like, that'd be fantastic. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, that'd be awesome as well. And I'll join you guys in the next episode for Youth Intake and a game against Grief. Looking forward to that. See you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.